Yep.
All right, this is Viren Malhotra, February 19th, 2026. I wanted to call the meeting to order. I thought we would just do a introduction because we do have people joining via phone, so thank you to KSB for helping get that set up. And we are going to have this video posted on YouTube after the meeting. I'm Viren Malhotra. I'm a parent advocate and president of the Kentucky School for the Blind Advisory Board. Tricia, I'll pass it to you.
Okay. Hi, good morning. I'm Tricia Bronger, and I serve as the secretary for the KSB, and my day job is Greater Louisville Education Cooperative.
Shannon?
Hi, my name is Shannon Sparkman, and I am the director for the Division of State Schools.
Okay. John?
Hello, my name is John Aaron. I'm the operations manager for the Kentucky School for the Blind.
Okay. Peggy?
Hi, Peggy Sinclair Morris, principal at KSB.
And do you want to go through, I see Emma, this is Viren, I see Emma on.
Hello, everyone. This is Emma Riley, Assistant Director of State Schools.
Okay. Nicole?
Hi, I'm Nicole Gates. I work at the American Printing House for the Blind. Thanks.
All right. And Greta, hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning. I'm Greta Hilton, and I serve as Associate Commissioner in the Office of Special Education and Early Learning at KDE.
Okay. We have a couple of guests behind me, so if you guys can introduce yourselves too.
I'm Kirsten Price. I'm a teacher of the visually impaired at KSB.
And I'm Kellen Garland, assistant principal at KSB.
Okay. Tricia did send board notes out via Google Docs and did seek feedback from the November board meeting. So I just wanted to call to approve those board meeting minutes, or if anybody had any revisions or questions, I think now's a good time. Okay, so I motion to approve those board minutes. Can I get at least 2 approvals?
Second.
Okay. All right. And we just need one more.
Maybe
All
Nicole.
approved.
Okay, Nicole approves
I'll
as well.
second, I'll third the motion.
Ah,
However
perfect.
it works.
This is Viren. Yep, thank you, Nicole. Perfect, so we'll consider that. Those board meetings will pass and we'll get those posted. Before we get started, I just wanted to maybe just take a moment to recognize that I think we all are aware that a few weeks ago, a young boy here at Kentucky School for the Blind passed away, and he was close to all of us. And I just wanted to recognize, maybe just take a moment of silence to honor Anthony, and to also thank the Kentucky School for the Blind for all the work that they did to help put this, his ceremony together on Valentine's Day. You know, for me as a father to a blind son, 20 years from now, I likely won't remember a lot of things that happened at Kentucky School for the Blind, but I will remember the people that came together to honor this young man. And I won't forget the heart and the warmth that I felt here at the school on the day of his ceremony. So if you would, maybe just join me in a moment of silence.
So first off, I wanted to start off by introducing Kellen Garland, our new assistant principal, and I'm gonna let Kellen talk about himself. He comes to us with fabulous experience, has just fit in so well, and is doing some great things here. And but one thing about Kellen is he does not like cottage cheese, so don't ever bring it up to him. So because I eat it almost every day. So anyways, I will let him introduce himself.
I'll start by saying please and thank you for not talking about cottage cheese. So my name's Kellen Garland, and this is my 25th year in public education. I started my service as a special education teacher EBD and LBD and MMD, and then got to be an assistant principal of middle school, and then principal for a middle school, and then took a year away after having some medical issues, and came back, and I have found the magic place to work to end my career, and this has been outstanding to be invited to be down here, and I'm thankful for each and every day that I'm here. What I've learned so far is just what was touched on earlier, the amount of compassion for the students that are here, and the family feel and the community that exists is unique and hopefully is appreciated by everybody. So coming into it late like this and just starting in November, I've learned pretty quickly the impact that we have every day in the lives of these young people. So very grateful to have that opportunity, and I'm honored. So yeah. So thank you all for letting me join in for a couple minutes.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go to lunch, Debbie. Yeah.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. So next, I'm gonna talk about our summer programming. And so John will get more into it, but we're having a lot of construction this summer again. So John and I were just talking about that, and we feel like from what happened last year, we've learned a lot of what to do and what not to do, having to pack up the classroom building and move things, and I feel like we're in a much better position this year of understanding how to make it a little bit smoother. So we're gonna have 1 week of summer enrichment, summer camp. It'll be the first week in June, and it's for kids grades K through 12 from KSB and all over the state. Then the next 2 weeks will be our summer work program, and again, that's open to any student that's blind or has low vision, as long as they're 15 years or above. And our work program, just for those of you that don't know, there are 2 locations where students will work. One is Kentucky Kingdom, one is the Louisville Zoo. We have done work with APH in the past, but haven't done as much lately just because of all the construction, but we're hoping to kind of gear that up next year. So the work program, the students come in, they stay in the dorm, they meet with the zoo people, they meet with Kentucky Kingdom people, and some of the kids have job coaches, some do not. They work on a lot of O&M because there is a lot of travel within each site. But they go out, and some of the kids work in vending, some work in the gift shop, some work grounds and maintenance, and we have had some kids that are hired on full-time at the zoo after they've worked through the work program. And so they'll continue to work during the year. We work very closely with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation on the program because the students do get paid, and they're paid through OVR. So it's really we have a wonderful partnership with Kentucky Kingdom and the zoo. And
You want student numbers? I have them. You want them?
yeah.
We have 18 enrolled for camp,
Okay.
and we have 12 enrolled for the work program.
So Ms. Price just said we have 18 enrolled for summer school, and how many for?
12.
12 for the work program, and I think the deadline for work program is March.
The applications for both programs are due April 3rd.
April 3rd, so we'll get more, usually at the last minute, we get a bunch of applications. So that being said, we won't have access to the classroom building this summer, but we do have both dorms open now, which is nice, and our Music Ritchie building will be available for summer school, so. And we won't have to move food service. Last year, we had to relocate food service into one of the dorms, so we're not having to do that this year, so. We also have Insight, which is Insight College Prep Program that takes place at Moorhead University the first week in June, and it's a basic college prep program for kids who are blind and have low vision. And it's just a week long where they get kind of a snippet of what it's like to be on a college campus. They take classes. There's a specific curriculum for students who are blind and low vision going to college. So the instructors focus on that. They do a lot of O&M. They eat in the cafeteria, they sleep in the dorm, the staff sleeps in the dorm as well. They do recreational activities. It's a really, I used to coordinate the program when I was in outreach, and it's really, you know, for some of the kids, especially that come from around out in the state, they might be the only student who's blind or has low vision in their district. And so then they meet other kids who walk the walk, and they develop these friendships in this social network, and it's a really wonderful program. So now there's also a program at Murray State called WinSight for the western side of the state, and it's a shorter program. I think it's 3 days, and they do a very similar. It's a very similar setup, and I think that program is really growing a lot. And again, sometimes we get people who, you know, it's hard for them to transport all the way to Moorhead or all the way to Murray, so it's nice to have programs on both sides of the state. And again, WinSight is open to kids from all across the state and to KSB kids. Now, Insight, if they complete 2 years of the program, they qualify for a very nice scholarship through the Charitable Foundation, and then they also get a computer or assistive technology fully loaded and ready to go. Anybody have any questions about summer programming? And then the last thing I had was NTI and snow day update, and I'm knocking on wood, hoping maybe we won't have any more, but you know, last year we had floods, so I don't know, we're just fingers crossed. We have used 5 NTI days and then 2 snow days, and I feel like our NTI days went much smoother this year. We knew what we were doing, we prepped very early in the year, sent things home, kind of customized it to the individual students and their needs. And so when the weather hit, everything was already at home. We sent devices home with kids beforehand. Even the process, I know Shannon knows this, it's very stressful. You know, we spend a lot of time texting and on the phone and looking at the weather and communicating with the principal from the School for the Deaf. I have like 5 different weather apps on my phone, and you know, obsessed with watching the weather, and my husband's like, you know, sends me to another room. So you know, it's stressful. You want to make the right decision for all the kids involved, and so I think this year we had a really good system. I think it went as smooth as it could. So we do have 2 snow days that we're going to make up. One is April the 3rd and one is May the 19th. And we have 5 NTI days left if the need arises.
Peggy, this is Tricia. Peggy, could you just it's April 3rd and May 19th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that was all I had on my list. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Is there any need of, this is Tricia, is there any need of support for summer programming or anything like that?
I don't think so, because we really, our summer camp is really more like a camp, and they focus a lot on the expanded core curriculum and doing fun activities that involve daily living, self-determination, O&M, all the things, so. Yes, Greta has her hand up. That involve.
Just a quick question, I apologize, I didn't write down the numbers, but you said you could continue taking applicants, for several weeks. What, typically speaking, what would be the total number of students impacted by these programs? Or could be the number of students? Just best guess.
That's a good question.
I would say roughly 30 to 40 in the camp, and then probably 25. I think our max has been 25 for the work program,
Okay.
because of the amount of spaces provided for each of the job sites.
So, Ms. Price, she coordinates our summer programming, she said like 35 to 40 students, summer school wise, and they take about up to 25 students in the work program, and that's based on the Louisville's, the zoo and Kentucky Kingdom on what the amount of students they can take. So that's an interesting question. It would be interesting to look at data overall over a period of years.
You want to move forward?
Yeah, actually Kirsten has that information that we can forward to everybody if you'd like to see it.
Thank you, and I apologize, I should have introduced myself before I spoke. This is Greta. Yeah, I don't necessarily need it. I was just thinking about, the larger impact across the state. So, approximately roughly 60 to 70 kids that are impacted because of the things that the school does over the summer. I was just making note of that. I think it's really a wonderful opportunity, and it impacts obviously several dozen kids.
And I know the Insight program, they'll take up to 23 or 24, but that varies because some kids will drop out, or so that could be 18 to 20 kids. I don't know about Winsight, how many students?
Last year they had roughly 10.
They had 10 at Winsight last year. And that number has increased from the first year. This will be the third year.
And I know there have been quite a few applicants for that as well.
So that program's just really growing.
This is Varen. I do know as the parent to a blind son, that these programs aren't, they're not replaceable. And so if they were to go away, Krishna, we would have to look at another state, or he would just be idle at home. But I mean, these are a real gift as part of his summer programming. Unlike my other son who's sighted, he's got a number of choices on camps and what to do, but this is a big part of Krishna's life. And we as parents really rely on this opportunity that the School for the Blind provides, not just for the summer work program, but the summer camp as well. There's like one option for him, and this is it. So we are very grateful here in this state that there's options like this and opportunities available for him. Actually, the other day, he said he liked it here so much, he wanted to stay here full-time. And he's looking to go stay possibly in the dorms during swim season. And my wife and I said, look, you can stay maybe Sunday through Wednesday, and we'll pick you up Thursday. And he said, no, he goes, I want to stay there till Friday. And I said, well, look, you've got a few more years left, and we want you at home, and you're our son. And I said, we're a family, and we love having you at home, and, we want to have this as long as possible. And then he, for the first time, said, I hate you, Dad.
Oh.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saying that Kentucky School for the Blind is so great that he would rather be here.
He's a typical
Says a
teenager.
lot.
Yep.
And he'll listen to this on YouTube, and I want him to hear it. All right, John, we'll pass it over to you.
Hi, this is John Aaron, the Operations Manager for the Kentucky School for the Blind. All right, as Peggy said, we have a lot of construction that is either in progress or is getting ready to start this spring. Now, first off, one project that we have completed is the bowling alley. All right, we have a new bowling alley for the students. I'm not sure if I brought this up in the last meeting. However, we have the lanes have been replaced, the pin setters have been replaced, the facility's been painted, and there's all new equipment for the students, balls and shoes, cleaning equipment and stuff like that. And that project has been a big hit with the kids. The work that we have in progress is the greenhouse. The contractor is here today. They started today. They're doing all the utility locates for the greenhouse and for the electrical updates. The contractor expects to break ground in 2 weeks, depending on the weather, for the concrete pad for the greenhouse, and that project will be finished by the end of the school year. The What will be happening this spring is we will be starting on the campus-wide electrical system upgrades. That includes a new electrical supply line off of Frankfurt Avenue over to the campus, new transformers and other features. The work that can get done that won't interfere with school operations will start this spring. They're doing the locates today for the utilities, and I don't have a start date when they're actually going to start putting in doing the trenching and other work. On May 25th, the Scoggin and McDaniel, work in the Scoggin McDaniel class will start, and that is going to be the heating and air conditioning upgrades, and they're going to complete the electrical system upgrades. What's happening in the Scoggin and McDaniel building is they're going to basically gut the mechanical room. All the steam equipment is coming out, all the electrical panels are coming out, and modern electrical panels are going to be installed, and the system is going to be tied in with the geothermal system. And what that will mean is that the building will essentially be closed during the summer while that's in operation. All right, so, and also what's happening in the school or in the classroom building is to make the geothermal system work efficiently is we're replacing all of the windows. So all the curtain wall windows are being replaced with modern double pane glass that's EV rated and so on. Now, the impact on the school, the good news is we don't have to just take all the furniture out. We'll be able to, move the furniture out away from the windows. We're going to cover it so it doesn't get, so it doesn't get dusty or exposed to the elements, and we'll be able to lock the facility up while they're doing that type of work, or while they're doing that work. And to keep the building secure, they're only doing one section of window at a time. So they'll demo it, prep it, put the new window in. When that's done, then they'll start the next section. Starting on the 1st of June, almost every other facility on this campus is getting touched in some way with electrical or HVAC upgrades. In the Gregory Reese building, Gregory Gym is getting new windows installed. That includes like the large windows on the east and west side of the building. All that's getting ripped out, so it's getting new door frames, new windows, and it's getting a rooftop unit that will provide heat and air conditioning to Gregory Gym. Langen Gym will have 2 mini boilers installed into the facility to provide heat, since the main boilers at that facility during the wintertime, since the main boilers in the Bagley building are going to be taken offline. Hauser Dormitory, and we'll work around the summer school schedule for this one. Again, it will also have 2 mini boilers installed into the facility, so again, to provide heat for the facility, to that facility during the wintertime. Ritchie Auditorium is having the entire HVAC system replaced, the rooftop units and the air handlers, and that work will start on the 15th of June. And a project that I've got in development is using the remaining playground funds. We have about $30,000 left in that fund. I want to put in a new swing set for the students. Just waiting on a quote from the vendor. And then we're also use some of that money to provide a memorial for Anthony to dedicate the playground to him. All right, are there any questions?
All right, John, thank you.
All right.
Peggy, were we gonna have Connie?
Yeah, so on the agenda, this is Peggy. It says Connie Hill Low Vision Clinics. So Connie is currently at the Kentucky School for the Deaf, working with students. I'd like to invite her back to really go into detail, but I just want to give some basic information to people so that they're aware of the work that is going on. So Connie is our low vision therapist, and through the Kentucky School for the Blind Charitable Foundation, we have a series of low vision clinics. So low vision clinics are when a student will come, they'll be seen by an optometrist who is specifically trained in low vision. The optometrist will recommend devices. It could be a handheld magnifier, it could be like a little telescope. They might recommend a Jupiter, which is a CCTV, which you can put paper under it, and then it enlarges it for you to read, for a student to read. They might recommend apps for an iPad or recommend an iPad. And so these clinics have been going on for, 20 years probably, but Connie's really worked with the Charitable Foundation to expand them so that they're not just here at KSB. We do have ones at KSB, but they're all over the state. So for example, Connie is going to be in Eastern Kentucky in Ashland, and there's going to be a clinic the 23rd, 24th, and then the 26th of next week. Again, they have to be rescheduled a lot in the winter just because of weather, but the next clinic she'll be in Floyd County, Bell County, then KSB, Bowling Green, Woodford County, Lexington, Berea. So that's just an example of the places. You know, she also goes to Paducah, so they're all over the state. And she works with the outreach consultants to arrange like a location, and then the outreach consultants work with teachers of the visually impaired to have kids sign up and attend the clinic. And so each clinic usually sees 6 to 8 students. Now, the new thing that we started this year was a CVI, or cortical vision impairment clinics, specifically for kids who have cortical vision impairment. So Connie and Michelle Brown, the executive director of the foundation, went to Vanderbilt to meet with staff there because they have clinics for children with CVI. Cincinnati Children's also does. So they had their first CVI clinic January 22nd. And there were several students from KSB that they saw, and I think a couple students from Jefferson County. And so they focus specifically on, there's a specific assessment that you do for students with CVI. And so that they'll do what's called the CVI range. They'll complete that, and then the low vision doctor will see them and recommend apps or, you know, just different tools for the student to use. And just so you know, CVI is one of the leading causes of low vision and blindness in the United States. So there's a huge need for the clinics. So we're really, really excited to have been able to expand into specifically for kids with CVI. But again, I'll invite Connie back so she can talk in more detail about it, because it really is, you know, it's a very important part of our outreach, not just here at KSB, but throughout the state. It really, you know, it's hard for folks maybe in Grayson County. A parent could not have transportation, or they don't want to drive to the big bad city of Louisville. I mean, that's a real thing. That's how people feel. So taking the clinics out to people, you know, has an impact and provides access. And they do not pay anything for, like, the handheld devices. If it's something like an iPad, they might go back to the school district, and the school district would pay for it, or, you know, a higher end piece of technology. Those are not provided, they're just recommended. Anybody have any questions? Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick. I think Shannon is up, and she has a PowerPoint, so I'm going to try to share my screen.
Yeah, and that's the PowerPoint. This is Shannon. The PowerPoint is just a few pictures that I wanted to share with the board, and that's kind of at the end, so I'll go through it, just a couple of announcements first, and then we'll share those pictures. First, I did want to mention that, excuse me, Peggy is working with our Director of Special Education, Shelley Badgett. They've been collaborating on IDEA-funded professional development opportunities for the KSB teachers. We were able to send 2 KSB staff to the ATIA conference in January. I believe it was our technology teacher and speech-language pathologist, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a great opportunity for them. I also wanted to
This is
mention.
Nicole. Is anybody else having issues with the sound? I'm not able to hear.
Uh-oh. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Do you want me to
This
come
is the-
closer?
This is the interpreter. It was as soon as you shared your screen, all of a sudden the sound went out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can come over there. That might help. I'll get closer. Does this help?
Yes.
Sorry
Okay.
about
Thank
that.
Okay, yeah. I apologize. I'll go ahead and just back up a little bit for those of you that weren't able to hear. It was our technology teacher and our speech language pathologist, and it was a great opportunity for them to go out and learn more about resources and collaborate. I also wanted to mention that the parent feedback survey window is open. That is opens every year. It'll be open until June, and we're always looking for ways to increase parent feedback. And I wanted to give a congratulations to Larry Rhodes. He is our ECC recreational coordinator. During our Team KDE meeting yesterday, an announcement was made that Larry was one of the recipients for the Strategic Excellence and Achievement Award. So congratulations to him. And then I'm going to share a couple of pictures. Dr. Fletcher visited KSB on December 18th. He was able to visit some of the classrooms, and I think on your screen now is the first slide for classroom visits. The first picture is a picture of Dr. Fletcher. He is squatted down next to the desk of a student. Oh, it's. I apologize. We got to put it on two different screens here. I am behind, but one moment, please. You can actually see it, but you can actually see it bigger. We're sharing it on two different computers. I apologize. So our first picture, there's 3 pictures on this slide. It's titled Classroom Visits. The first picture is Dr. Fletcher. He's squatted down next to a student, and I believe that this is a math class, an elementary math class. And he is looking over the shoulder of the student, and they're discussing the math lesson. The middle picture, the second picture, is a picture of Dr. Fletcher discussing I believe this is the same class, yeah. Discussing the lesson with another student standing next to him. So Dr. Fletcher is just leaning over a student standing to his left, and they're discussing the math lesson. In the third picture, this is a different classroom. This is middle? High school, okay. High school social studies. So he had gone in and was discussing the lesson with one of, or the classroom rather. In this picture, students are seated around a table. Dr. Fletcher has approached the table, and he is standing between 2 students and looking over towards the desk to see what that particular student is working on. Our next slide is a few more classroom visits. So we have Dr. Fletcher is standing at the edge of a table. There's several tables in a square formation. Students are sitting around and they are talking about their lesson. Dr. Fletcher is interacting with the students. Another picture, the second picture in the middle, another classroom visit. He's squatted down at the table with the students, discussing their lesson. And then the third picture in this slide is following the winter recital rehearsal that he was able to watch. Dr. Fletcher went backstage to talk to the students, interact, and congratulate them on a job well done. And then we have one last slide. This slide also contains 3 pictures. It's titled Bowling Fun. We had the opportunity to visit the bowling alley, which looks fantastic. There's 3 pictures on this slide. The first, Dr. Fletcher is talking to a group of students in front of the bowling area. There are, it's like 5 people surrounded Dr. Fletcher speaking. The second picture is an action shot. And we have on the left, we have a student getting ready to bowl down one of the lanes. And on the right side of the picture, Dr. Fletcher is in the midst of rolling his ball down the bowling alley, so it was a great action shot for Dr. Fletcher. And then the final picture on the slide is a group shot. Dr. Fletcher is standing in the middle of the bowling lanes with 5 other people, students, and then just excited about the opportunity to play the games with the students. He was able to interact with a lot of the students and make some connections. I think it was a great visit. He's visited Kentucky School for the Deaf in January, and then barring any emergencies, we'll be back here at Kentucky School for the Blind next week for another opportunity to interact with the students and the staff. And that is, that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me?
All right, this is Darren Shannon. Thanks for that update. In new business, I just wanted to open it up on any items. I had one item, but if members of our board had any questions, I think now's the time.
And this is Peggy, I'm sorry, it says my camera's not working right now. Oh, there I am, there you are, Vera.
Yes. I am on stage left. Peggy's on stage right. Okay. The one item that I noticed, Peggy, was that we are going to have a virtual parent meeting on February 25th from 7 to 8, and I just think that's a great idea. I hope, I don't know how many people have signed up, but it'll be, I mean, this is the first that I've seen in a few years, and I just think it's, you know, you keep trying in many different ways, whether it's a survey or video conference, to engage the parents in any way that we can. And do you have any idea? I don't know who's leading the meeting, but do we have any idea as far as number of people that have signed up? Or
So this is Peggy. So our social worker, Whitley Combs, Clark Combs, Whitley, is spearheading this. And it was just to meet with parents to say, hi, I'm Whitley. You know, I'm kind of overseeing family engagement. When I talked to her last week, there was nobody signed up. So
okay.
I haven't checked with her today on numbers of people. So we'll just, you know, if we have one person, we'll be there.
Yeah.
If we have 2, if we don't have anybody, then we're just gonna keep trying.
Yeah, I think that's great.
What was the date and time again?
At 25.
Next week it's
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Yeah. Yep, 7 to 8 on the 25th.
All right. If there's nothing else in new business, we'll move to board recommendations. And at this time, we do not have any board recommendations. We also did not have anyone sign up for public comment. And so, unless otherwise, I'd like to call the meeting to a close. Okay, we'll consider the meeting finished. 11:40 a.m.
Oh, May 15th is the next.
And
It's
yeah,
18, I have 18.
like
18.
let's double. I have the 18th.
18th.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, sorry.
Don't confuse me, because I'll show up on the, as we just talked
I
about.
know. I'll make sure you're
Yeah.
notified.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters will not be here,
Yeah, exactly.
not until
Noted.
September.